Now recording from deep within the bowels of Castillo de Metal, located in the barren wasteland of South Broad Ripple. Three heavy metal degenerates doing their best to put sentences together and discuss all that is hard rock and heavy metal. The Stone and Steel Cast!
Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for listening. This is the next installment of the Stone and Steel Cast. I'm Brandon Moss, and joining me on the phone is James Yarnell.
Hello.
Patrick E. O'Connor is not joining us today. He's getting ready for an upcoming gig.
He's at home rehearsing.
Yeah. The Soldiers of Fortune will be playing this April 9th at the Fifth Quarter Lounge.
306 Prospect Street here in Indianapolis. And yours truly, both of us are playing in the band, as is Pat. So we're really looking forward to that. Come on out. I think the doors open at, 7 or 8. We go on at 9. We're playing with Smoke Ring, Hollywood Romeo, and with another Rush tribute band,
El Rusho.
So I've heard good things. I've heard good things about all three of the other bands we're playing with that night. So it should be a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a packed house. I can't wait.
Yep.
Speaking of some other shows coming up, I think Friday we've got The Sword at the Vogue, right?
At the Vogue.
Yeah, James, you're going to that, right?
Yes. Right now I'm planning on going. I've seen them once there before, and it's a great show. Honestly, man, like that's say what you want like about that. The Vogue is a great place to see a rock concert. You and I have both played there a few times, and you've been to countless shows there, and there's really not a bad seat in the house at that place. And those guys are killer. They've been around since, I think we talked about this last time, but they've been around since like 2006 or so when they hit the scene. And JD actually told me about it. He found them from Guitar Hero 2.
Yeah.
And they just have put out lots of solid releases. Four guys from Austin. So very, very cool band. Make it out if anybody is planning on going. Let us know on Twitter or Facebook, and we could meet up. I'd like to meet anybody. I'd like to meet our listeners.
Yeah, who else is going to be there as a band? I think they're called Archerus. I could be mispronouncing their band name, but they're from Indianapolis. They're really cool. They're opening up for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they similar to The Sword?
Yes. Yeah, I'd say so. Both bands heavily influenced by early Sabbath.
Yeah. Way down too. I love that stuff, man.
I do too.
The Sword, I don't know how much you've listened to them, but like their albums, they've definitely progressed. Not like necessarily better or worse or anything. They just have changed a lot. I mean, If you listen to the first record, their debut, Age of Winners, and like listen to their most recent album, I Country, it's way different. Both are fine, and I've heard them both, and I like them. Just they've I don't even want to say matured, but they've definitely they're different. But I'm sure they'll play stuff from all the albums at the concert. So really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Vogue is a great place to see a band. I saw John 5 there last month.
That was recent, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, phenomenal. He's just mind-blowing.
Did he play like zombie stuff and Manson stuff, or what?
It was pretty much all instrumental, I think. Like,
really?
Yeah, I don't think there were any vocals all night, and I'm okay with that, being a guitar player.
Oh, sure.
But, oh man, yeah, it was incredible. I'd happily go see him again.
It's funny. How long? I don't even know how long he played with Manson, but or
David Lee Roth.
He's still in Zombie's band, right?
Yeah. He played on, I think, the last few David Lee Roth solo records.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think, more trivia. I think his first instrumental album was on the Shrapnel label too. So it kind of
cool.
makes sense that being an instrumental guitar player,
Yeah, well, listening like the old, the Marilyn Manson out songs and stuff. At least the ones I've heard, you wouldn't think that you got a virtuoso guitarist in that band, but
yeah, he gets to, I think, flex a little bit more with Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
because
Okay.
I think a lot of the records he was on with Manson, I think, and I'm not really familiar with Manson's catalog, so I can't speak
Same
with
here.
100% accuracy, but they were much more kind of industrial sound
Right.
in production, as opposed to Zombies, more leaning towards a full-fledged band.
Yeah, straight ahead rock.
Yeah. So,
Sure.
speaking of other virtuoso musicians coming to Indianapolis, Tuesday, April 26th is Steve Vai's Generation X featuring Zach Wilde, Yngwie Malmsteen, Nuno Betancourt at the Old National Center.
Yes. And there's another guy playing with him, too. I didn't recognize the name, though, and I probably should. I'm sure that some of the listeners are going to be, what the hell's wrong with him?
Oh, no, I thought I named them all, too. Who I left off.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, God, talk about a lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Steve Vai is the one putting it together.
I think so. I think it's Steve Vai's Generation X is what the it's being billed as. But I'd love to go to that. I think I'm going to be out of town, though. I want to go to that so bad, though.
Yeah, I think I've got something going on that night, too. I just don't recall what.
Well, if you're going to be here, you should go.
What's that?
If you're going to be here, you should go.
Yeah, anybody, absolutely. That'd be, I mean, God, now talk about, I mean, that's a lot of guitar for your buck.
I know it.
That's a lot of talent for your dollar.
I know it. We saw him at the Mural last time he was here.
Yep, Steve Vai played for like 9 hours.
Yeah, that'd be fine with
me. It was
me.
unreal.
April 27th, Buckethead is going to be at the Vogue too. So if that wasn't enough Guitar Hero for you, Buckethead at the Vogue, April 27th.
Have you ever seen him in concert?
No, but I'd like to.
Yeah, he's a weird dude. Nobody knows who the hell he is, as far as I know.
Yeah, I thought he was identified not too long ago. Maybe not. If he was, I don't know it.
I don't know. I've heard rumors. And I saw pictures of people who they think it is, but nothing confirmed.
Yeah. Oh,
he's a weird guy with the chicken bucket.
hence the name. Saturday, April 30th is Hailstorm with Lita Ford. I've got tickets to that. I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of a weird billing. I like, obviously I like Lita Ford and Hailstorm. It's just kind of an odd pair, but besides the fact that they both have female lead singers, but Lizzie's got a great voice, and she was on a Dio tribute album.
Oh, that was incredible.
They did Straight Through the Heart.
Yeah,
it's a killer version.
Yeah, and I've heard most of the latest Hailstorm album. I think it's great. So I think I feel pretty good about the billing in terms of that, because the way they play, it doesn't sound like, I can't classify it as alternative. I mean, it sounds like something I'd listen to. So
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I think that's a good break for Lita too, because that kind of puts her to be able to get booked with a kind of an up and coming younger band like that is great exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I don't think she's had anything come out in maybe the last 4 years ago. I think she had a new album.
Yeah, she had something a while ago. Like I think right before divorce.
Yeah. New book. She's got a new book I gotta check out.
Oh yeah, Living Like a Runaway.
Yeah,
I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, she dishes out on old Jim Gillette. So I'm
I bet.
Really interested to see. I've heard a little bit of his side of the story, but I'd like to hear hers.
What band was he in again? I can never
Nitro. Remember. I believe it was Nitro. Isn't that what they're called?
That's it. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Nitro.
Well.
Cool.
Moving on, we've got quite a bit to talk about, even though we've already talked about it in the last couple podcasts already, but the Guns N' Roses reunion, sort of.
You know what? I think we should record a new an intro for a new segment called This Week in Guns N' Roses.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I feel like we're going to be talking about this for a while.
Can you say that again? I'll put some echo on it.
This week in Guns N' Roses news.
There we go. All right. Let's see.
They played their first show.
First show with Axl reunited with Slash and Duff, along with guitarist Richard Fortus, I think that's his name, and drummer Frank Ferrer. So classic lineup and 2 current lineup guys.
Where did those 2 other guys come from? Were they in the band with Axl before?
Yeah, I think Richard joined in the early 2000s, and I think probably the drummer sometime maybe during that time, shortly after.
Were either of those 2 one of the 30 musicians that played on Chinese Democracy?
I think so. I think they joined the band before Chinese Democracy came out.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. That's really all I know. Other than I looked up some info on their guitar player, and he's been in a few other bands. I think he sat in with X Japan for a little bit too, of all things. Which
wow.
Thought that was kind of interesting.
Is he even Japanese?
No.
I didn't think he was.
Yeah.
Portis isn't a very Japanese name.
He's also been in the Dead Daisies. I think we saw them open up for somebody not too long ago, didn't we? I think it was within the last year.
I don't recall.
What is it? The Kiss show. The Kiss show we saw. Didn't the Dead Daisies open? I think somebody opened for Kiss.
Def Leppard played with Kiss last time I saw him.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Dead Daisies played before Def Leppard, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, which that has Brian Tichy on drums, and what's the bass player from Blue Murder? God, is it Tony Franklin?
Tony Franklin?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so kind of an all-star band there.
Yeah. Okay, I kind of remember that now. That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, back to the Guns thing though. It's really hard to judge when all you have is about a minute of cell phone audio quality.
Yeah, they weren't allowed. Nobody was allowed to take cameras in there, and that the clip. And I've only seen the one clip of "Welcome to the Jungle." Is there more?
What I saw was like a minute-long clip of just seconds of different songs, and different.
Oh, okay.
So it's like somebody took a montage of like 2 or 3 seconds of different songs. So it's frustrating because not only is it crappy cell phone audio quality, you're only getting like just a little piece here and there. But given that, it sounds pretty good. Granted, the band, most of the band has been, full or active musicians for the past, X amount of years. I think everybody's most concerned was how is Axl going to sound. But given what little I heard and what I can tell, it sounds pretty good. I wish I could hear a better audio clip, though.
Well, what I saw, and you can look for this after we're done here. I saw like a clip of a minute, like almost like a minute, maybe a little bit more of "Welcome to the Jungle," like the intro and everything.
Okay.
Of the whole thing, so you can probably get a better idea there. But I just watched it for the first time a little bit ago, and everybody sounds pretty good, and the musicians do. Axl sounds, fine. I mean, I wasn't blown away, but I wasn't at the same time. I wasn't thinking, "Oh my God, to turn this off, this is a train wreck."
That's good.
Which is, it's good, and like we talked about last time. Well, actually, I think they just released a stadium tour, the schedule, the arena schedule.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't looked at the dates yet.
So I haven't either. It's pretty new. It was today, and I meant to do that before we jumped on here, but I don't know what it looks like. But it's just kind of a select dates around the nation, and I'm sure, assuming all the guys get along, that it will probably be extended into a second leg.
Yeah.
And probably an international tour. We'll see.
Yep.
But I don't know. I guess I still stand by what I said. I'm not real excited either way what happens. But I know a lot of people are, and it's probably good for rock and roll. It probably is. And I know these guys are getting paid.
Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I'd still like to know why, like Matt Sorum or Steven Adler or Izzy, or what happened to those guys.
Yeah, that's still in the dark, pretty much.
There is even Dizzy Reed. He's not playing with him, is he?
Oh yeah. He is. He's
okay.
been a member since 1990, I believe.
See, I always forget about that.
Yeah. He never stopped being a member.
Okay.
But but yeah, not a single word of what's up with Izzy, and it very well could be he's just not interested in making that commitment to the full-fledged tour. But then again, if that were the case, I wonder why we didn't see him. And then same with Adler. Like,
you know, I just you could be right, but I just have a hard time. I mean, what else is it? And maybe I could be way off base here, but you know, what else is what better could Izzy Stradlin have, you know, to do? What I mean, especially considering the amount of money these guys are making on this, I can't imagine him not wanting to do it unless you know, they came to him and offered him way less money than the rest of the band for some reason.
See, and that could be. I think
that happened with the Sabbath reunion with Bill Ward.
Yeah.
Well, there's different sides of the story there, but you know,
why?
90% I have a hard
of the time
he didn't just want to join the band again.
It's about money. I think 90% of the time.
Yep.
But
yep, the almighty dollar. Who knows?
But I could also see it being a thing where, I mean, he was fighting all kinds of drug problems, you know, when they were more active, the more active Guns of the, you know, early 90s. And I think after, just based on what little knowledge I have of, you know, his life outside of Guns, I mean, I could see a guy who just wants to avoid that altogether just because of all the, you know, drugs and whatnot and connotations that
he doesn't want to relapse.
I mean, I can't speak for him, but I could see it. I could see it being something like that. But then couple that with, just like you said, that, you know, the guys earning the top dollars are probably going to be Axl, Slash and Duff. So maybe he thought, well, do I want to put myself through this and make only this much money, or I don't know, but
well, we can speculate till the cows come.
No
home,
kidding,
and say, but
we will.
I guess, man, who knows? Maybe that news will come forward, and we'll have more to talk about on this week's Guns N' Roses news.
And he's played on stage with the current lineup of Guns within the, you know, a couple times within the past few years. So we still could see him at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that will be the night that Adler plays, you know, a whole set or a few songs. That maybe they're saving it for that. Who knows? This could have very well been a test run, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think that that venue only could fill like 400 or so people. It's a small club. So maybe.
Yeah, the Troubadour. I've never been there. That's in L.A., right?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, here's some more speculation. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the one night where they have the entire original Appetite lineup is being saved for a bigger venue where they can really, really, you know, play in front of some shitload of people.
Right.
Anyway, that's all I got. That's all I got.
I'm trying to find the Guns N' Roses dates here on the old interwebs.
Yeah. Any Indianapolis dates?
Oh, let's see here. Detroit, Maryland, Kansas City, Chicago, Cincinnati,
Chicago.
July 9th. Nashville, Pittsburgh, July 12th. 14th, Philly, Foxborough, Massachusetts, Jersey, Georgia, New Orleans, Arlington, Houston, San Francisco, Seattle, Glendale, and San Diego, and that's it right now.
Gotcha.
Oh, and in Toronto. Boy, they're not coming to Indy. Shock me.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
That's an issue though for a whole other podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Another rock band not coming to Indianapolis. I'm so surprised.
Yeah. But we are. I went back and looked. We are getting quite a bit. Sabbath's coming here.
Yes, true. That is true in September, I believe.
I mean, for Sabbath's farewell, I mean, they could have very easily just skipped over Indianapolis. I'm glad they aren't, because I'm definitely going to go.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
yeah, you're right. I mean, we do get. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic. We do get shows here, like the ones we just talked about. It just seems like all too often, man. I hear about a band touring, and I go and like, oh, concert dates have been announced, and of course, Indianapolis is not on there, and I'm
It's
like,
true.
well,
It's true.
really, we've got some great venues here.
It's true.
Really, we've got some great venues here. We've got Clips up north. We've got it's the Field House. It's not a great place to see a concert, but it's an option. We've got the Mirage. We got a bunch of those little clubs that you can play at.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as
I
far as
don't know.
bigger venues go, I like seeing shows over at the Field House. Is that what it's still called? I feel like it's always called something else every time.
It's
I'm there.
Banker's Life.
Banker's
now, I
Life.
believe.
Yeah. I still call it Conseco. I think it's always going
Oh
to be
yeah,
Conseco
that's
to me.
fine. Well, hell, I still call it Deer Creek.
Yeah. No kidding. Speaking of concerts and not coming to Indy, you got Maiden this week, don't you?
I do. Oh yes, I can't believe I hadn't mentioned that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday night at the United Center, the house that Jordan built. I'm going to be up there for the Book of Souls tour. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Plus, the buddy I'm going
I
up
can't
with, guy, used cashed in on his credit cards rewards. We got an awesome hotel room for free.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it. I wish I could go.
Yeah, we're going to go up there early that day and check in, and probably we're like only a couple miles away from the venue, so we're going to hang out at find probably a watering hole nearby and meet some Maiden fans. And, that's a great thing about the shows like that. You especially Maiden, or you can go anywhere around a concert and you just find somebody in a Maiden shirt and you got an immediate friend for the most part.
That's how Nashville was when we got them in with Megadeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing Nashville just littered with Megadeth and Maiden fans. Pretty easy to spot, I think. But
it's a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. I've seen their set list, and it's a phenomenal set list. They're playing a lot of new stuff. Like we mentioned last time, they're playing a lot of the new stuff, which I love. I'm a big fan of the new album, and so I can't wait to hear a lot of it live, see how it translates to the stage. I mean, a lot of their songs anyways, especially the newer stuff, it sounds like they're already playing it in concert. It sounds like it's just ready-made to be played live.
Yeah, I think
they kind of give it that. The studio albums have that live feel to them, and it's intentional. I read about it. Kevin Shirley is phenomenal at that.
Took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, Kevin Shirley's got a lot to do with that.
I want to record an album with him.
No shit. Make it happen.
So, yeah, Maiden on Wednesday, Sword on Friday, and then Soldiers of Fortune on Saturday. It's a rock and roll week for me, man.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well,
absolutely.
Let's continue this rock and roll week with our picks of the week. Which this pick of the week is actually my last week pick of the week, because I'd still like to do seeing what our schedules do, I'd still like to do another podcast this week. So giving us 2 picks essentially, but my pick of last week is Desecrator by Ambush, the Swedish heavy metal, new wave of traditional heavy metal bands. I love this album, love this band. Their last album kicks just as much ass, Firestorm. Check out both of those albums. But Desecrator by Ambush.
Any album that has an album cover of a wicked tornado ripping through a cemetery.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't get much more metal than that. You can really hear the Priest and Accept influence and other old school heavy metal bands. It's so good.
Where are those guys from?
I think Sweden, and I won't even begin to try to pronounce the city they're from, but I'll just say Sweden.
Right. Yeah, man, you introduced me to that band, and it's phenomenal. I love that. Both albums are just killer new wave of traditional heavy metal, and there's a lot more bands out there like that we're kind of finding. So keep coming back here to the Stone and Steel cast to find out more, because we're going to be talking about them and give them their due.
Well, what's your pick, James?
Well, mine is kind of timely. Mine is, since we are playing pretty much the whole thing this Saturday, mine is Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, a classic album. I'm sure a lot of you listening have probably heard of it or heard it. I think it came out in '78, and I believe it was their first live album. And it's kind of one of those quintessential live albums. Some say it's one of the best live albums ever recorded, and that's hard to argue. It's got a lot of their classic songs on there. I believe it's a classic lineup. But we were playing damn near the entire thing this Saturday. So if anybody's planning on coming out and maybe haven't heard some of the songs we're playing, some of the Thin Lizzy songs, check that album out. It'll give you a great introduction to the band. And another thing about this, and it kind of reminds me of Kiss Alive 1.
Both being
of
recorded in the studio?
What?
Like the Alive albums being recorded in the studio?
Well, not so much that. Just, well, yeah, I mean, I guess that maybe a little bit. But I was thinking more how it reminds me of them Kiss Alive 1, because some of the albums prior to this didn't sonically were not that great. They were kind of recorded cheaply.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in Kiss, when this Alive album came out, it kind of gave a breath of life to these songs.
Absolutely.
And, people could understand how awesome this band is. So it kind of helped blow them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. It gives each song just a brand new life.
Yeah, I'll never forget the time. I see the first time, going back to Kiss, first time I ever heard Deuce was on Alive 3.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then when I went back later and heard the original studio album, it just sounded so weak.
Well, it's on the one of the other Alives, too, isn't it? Like Alive 1 or Alive 2. Yeah. Yeah, I love all those.
It's on Alive 1.
Yeah.
But when you're, honestly, when the first version...
Yeah, when you go backwards, it's kind of a downgrade. I mean, as great as the first Kiss album is, but you listen to the first Alive, all those songs are just charged up.
Oh yeah, no, a whole other level. I mean, the studio back then, especially on a shoestring budget, they couldn't really capture that. So, anyways, my pick of the week: Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous.
Oh, nice.
Check it out, and then come check it out in person this Saturday at 306 Prospect Street near Fountain Square. Soldiers of Fortune, yours truly, are playing these songs and hopefully doing them justice. I think we are. I'm pretty excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. Speaking of Thin Lizzy, I believe it's Gary Moore's birthday, so this week's assigned listening will be "Corridors of Power" by Gary Moore. And next time when we get Pat in here, we can discuss both "Corridors of Power" and last time we had Ace Frehley's "Trouble Walking."
When was Corridors of Power released? Do you know?
82, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, solid album.
Just those of you who don't know, Gary Moore played guitar with Thin Lizzy for what album was it? Was it Black Rose?
Yeah.
So, another Irish singer and
great Thin Lizzy
player.
Album. I think that's all we got for this time around, but before we go, I wanted to thank Alessio Vigo from the Italian metal band Kerosene for contacting us, and we're always happy to help support other bands, and they have a new EP out called Modern Slavery. Due to licensing restrictions for YouTube, I don't think I can put the song on the at the end of the podcast. I might try to upload it on SoundCloud and see if we can get away with it there. But if nothing else, we'll be sure and share the links to their videos and whatnot.
That should do it for this week's episode. I think that's all I got, and I have to go to the grocery store. Rock and roll weekday.
All right. Until next time.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
This has been the Stone on Steelcast. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.